All around us, there are countless places you will never be able to enter, ranging from top-secret military bases to mysterious projects whose very existence is persistently denied by the authorities. You can expect unknown laboratories, dubious experiments, and enigmatic territories where ordinary people have never set foot. You are on the TopFacts channel. I wish you a pleasant experience. In the little studied expanses of the Astrakhan region, there exists one of the most curious and yet strictly confidential sites, founded back in the year 1946. We are talking about the Kapustin Yar test range. It was a strategically significant place for the Soviet Union in the early years of the Cold War. Cutting-edge ballistic missiles were tested here, and key space programs were developed. Because of the extremely high level of secrecy around Kapustin Yar, many rumors arose, ranging from stories of unidentified flying objects crashing to theories of contacts with extraterrestrial life forms. Some ufologists are certain that in certain periods, strange lights in the sky were repeatedly observed over the testing grounds. When the Soviet Union collapsed, part of the classified documentation was declassified, but the real scope of the work done here is known only in general terms. Over time, Kapustin Yar remained a key test site for Russia, for a significant part of the anti-missile shield was built on its foundation. It is rumored that in modern times, next-generation systems are tested here and space experiments are conducted, ones the world is not supposed to hear about. Amidst the bustle of Berlin's city center, in an area steeped in history, stands the impressively large complex of the Federal Intelligence Service of Germany. It officially began operations in the year 2019 when the process of transferring the headquarters from one of the districts of Munich was completed. Notably, the building is considered the largest intelligence center in the world, surpassing even the famous headquarters of the Central Intelligence Agency in Langley. In terms of area, this complex can be compared to several dozen football arenas. Inside its many floors and corridors are hidden thousands of rooms and offices equipped with cutting-edge technology. For the German side, such a relocation symbolized a desire to make intelligence more open, although, of course, the true activities of most departments remain inaccessible to outsiders. There is even a sort of visitor center here, which is rare among intelligence agencies worldwide. It is said that during official tours only the showcase zones are displayed, while all the main secrets remain behind locked doors. Meanwhile, it is precisely here that some of the most important ideas for countering global threats often arise, as well as the most complex surveillance schemes for terrorist networks. In the state of Pennsylvania, in the depths of a former limestone mine, sprawls a genuine underground city for the protection of the most valuable documents and digital media. This facility has earned the striking name Iron Mountain, and in its rooms, which extend far into the earth, archives are stored that may have immense value for their owners. Originally, the mine was repurposed following the era of the Second World War and the beginning of the Cold War, when there arose a need for the safest possible storage of strategically important materials. Over time, though, Iron Mountain began offering a broader range of services, from digitizing paper archives to comprehensive information security in cloud storage. Among the more legendary treasures said to rest on underground shelves are the master recordings of some of the greatest musical albums in history, rare historical photographs, and even confidential documents regarding important political deals. Moreover, special climate-controlled zones have been created in the depths of the complex, and a stable temperature and humidity are maintained inside. It is said that the level of security here is so high that only a handful of people, even they after a multi-stage check, are granted access. As a result, Iron Mountain has remained synonymous with the highest level of secrecy and reliability for many years. In remote areas of Siberia near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River lies a mysterious region whose name has sparked debate in the scientific community for more than 100 years. On the 30th of June in the year 1908, there was an explosion of monstrous force that knocked down millions of trees and left scorched earth over a massive area. Most scientists lean toward the theory that a comet or meteorite exploded in mid-air, but the absence of a clear crater continues to intrigue enthusiasts of anomalies. The entire territory is surrounded by harsh natural conditions and hard-to-reach marshy stretches, and officially entry is not so easy. Special permits and escorts are required. There is a hypothesis that the explosion might have been connected to a rare physical anomaly, or even the emergence of a microscopic black hole that punched through the Earth's crust. Although official science considers such ideas extremely improbable, esoteric theories around Tunguska persist. Some point out that decades later, unusual mutations in plants and fungi can be observed in areas of felled forest, spawning even more conspiratorial speculations about secret research. In the very center of the Indian Ocean on the remote atoll of Diego Garcia, military activity has been simmering for many years. Territorially, this piece of land belongs to the United Kingdom. Yet in reality, a major base here is used by the armed forces of the United States of America under special agreements between the two countries. The convenient location of Diego Garcia makes it one of the main strategic hubs for swift response in the event of conflicts in the Middle East or other remote regions. Long ago, the island was known to sailors for its coconut plantations and unique lagoon, but the fate of the local population turned tragic. In order to clear the territory for the military base, the inhabitants were forced to relocate to other islands. The authorities justify this measure by citing the high security requirements, for the atoll is home to airfields, docks for ships, and even zones for specialized equipment. Some researchers believe that Diego Garcia could house secret prisons or laboratories for hidden experiments, but official representatives deny these rumors. Meanwhile, attempts by former residents to return to their homeland continue to be met with legal obstacles, and the atoll remains off-limits to most civilians. In the state of Virginia, on an extensive tract of land near Williamsburg, lies a restricted facility known in select circles as the Farm. Officially, it is a military reservation. In reality, however, this is where the operational staff of the Central Intelligence Agency and other special services involved in covert operations undergo training. No outsiders are allowed in here. There are checkpoint systems everywhere, and those who are permitted to enter are usually escorted from the moment they arrive until the moment they depart. At the training grounds, the trainees master unusual disciplines, from working with secret radio frequencies to advanced psychological techniques for conducting interrogations and recruiting. Camp Peary's history began during the Second World War, when specialists of the Naval Construction Battalions were trained here. Later, prisoners of war were held on the premises, and rumors suggest that even then, intricate interrogation methods and intelligence-gathering tactics were being developed. Today, the Farm has not lost its reputation as a place where, behind high gates, things happen that officials prefer not to talk about. It is said there are entire cities there for simulating undercover operations, allowing spies to gain experience in the most critical situations. Somewhere in the boundless Gobi Desert, in the province of Gansu, rise the launch facilities of one of China's major space assets, the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. It was established back in the late 50s, when a serious rocket and space program was only just emerging in the Middle Kingdom. It was here that China conducted its first successful satellite launch and later its manned mission, confirming that the country could independently send humans into space. In addition to purely scientific projects, the Launch Center plays a huge role in military research, rocket fuel development, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and communication satellites for defense purposes are all kept under strict secrecy. Its accompanying infrastructure includes vast hangars for assembling rockets, engine testing laboratories, and a heavily protected flight control center. According to official statements, China aims for the peaceful exploration of space, yet a number of Western analysts point out that each of the nation's space steps often carries a hidden military component. Around the Cosmodrome, there is a secure area. Fences, armed patrols, and video surveillance systems prevent accidental curious onlookers from getting in. On the barren stretches of Alaska, not far from the town of Jiuquan, stands a very intriguing array of antennas covering an enormous territory. Known publicly by an abbreviation related to the ionosphere, this station belonged for a long time to the Air Force of the United States of America and later came under the administration of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Officially, it conducts research on the upper layers of the atmosphere to understand how solar radiation and magnetic storms affect radio signals and navigation systems. The installation is capable of focusing powerful waves on a small section of the ionosphere, creating temporary disturbances there. This helps scientists learn the finer details of radio signal transmission and perhaps improve communication systems for submarines and underground facilities. Skeptics believe it is far more complicated. Conspiratorial theories abound, from weather control to a secret beam weapon capable of affecting people's psyche. And although the facility occasionally hosts open houses where some of the scientific equipment is shown, the military connection continues to trouble many observers. Interestingly, even the scientists admit at times that certain experiments were conducted jointly with military structures, and the results of those experiments are unlikely to become public knowledge. In the lands northeast of the city of Amarillo in the state of Texas lies a facility rarely mentioned in everyday news, yet it holds immense importance for the security of the United States of America. The Pantex plant initially served as a manufacturer of conventional ammunition during the Second World War, but over time was repurposed for much broader tasks, assembling, servicing, and dismantling nuclear warheads. It is here, under the strict supervision of a semi-government consortium, that every stage of work on nuclear weapons is carried out. From assembling key components to modernizing and fully disposing of warheads deemed outdated or superfluous under international treaties. Experts claim that the volume of radioactive materials stored on site can impress even the most skeptical observers. Local residents have at various times expressed concerns about possible radiation leaks and environmental repercussions. Representatives of the enterprise invariably respond that all processes are regulated and that environmental protection is a priority. But given the facility's strategic status and its role in maintaining nuclear parity, Pantex is surrounded by multiple layers of security and secrecy. It is said that the regular transport of trucks carrying nuclear components may only take place under the cover of darkness when roads are closed off by special patrols. In a small sovereign enclave known as the Vatican lies one of the world's most unusual financial institutions, the Institute for Religious Works, often called the Vatican Bank. Created in the year 1942 by Pope Pius XII, it was intended to safeguard and grow funds used for charitable causes and the support of church missions. Despite its official purpose, the Institute has repeatedly been at the center of major investigations, both within the church itself and beyond. Controversial financial transactions, lack of transparency in working with accounts belonging to influential figures, and scandals linked to money laundering all contributed. At certain times, the Vatican was even compelled to close suspicious accounts and reform the entire management system. Nevertheless, this bank remains a key support for the worldwide Catholic Church. It is through this institution that charitable projects are funded, grants are issued to monastic orders, and salaries are provided to employees of various church bodies. Contrary to outside opinions that the work takes place in a closed regime merely to conceal assets, Institute representatives stress its important historical mission: to help the Church develop while maintaining a certain level of secrecy and independence. Near Lake Balkhash in Kazakhstan lies a secret territory founded in the mid-50s of the past century. The Sary-Shagan test site was historically the heart of Soviet and then Russian anti-missile defense. It was created to test systems for intercepting ballistic missiles along real flight trajectories, modeling potential global-scale conflicts. It was precisely here, in the Soviet era, that high-latitude nuclear tests were carried out. and the first successful interceptions of warheads took place. It is said that many achievements in radar stations and anti-missile technology were refined on its testing grounds. Later, when the Soviet Union ceased to exist, vast arrays of complicated complexes fell into disrepair, and some equipment was simply dismantled and sold on the black market. Yet in the modern era, Russia once again makes use of part of the territory, continuing to develop advanced missile technologies. The secrecy of Sary-Shagan fuels the interest of foreign intelligence agencies. Satellites periodically register changes in the testing range's infrastructure, prompting new speculations about the presence of secret weapons of the future there. Some researchers suggest that in the near future, Sary-Shagan may become a site for testing hypersonic interceptors. Within the endless desert landscapes of South Australia lies one of the largest testing areas in the world, the prohibited zone of Woomera. It was created soon after the conclusion of the Second World War. Initially, Woomera was a joint project of Australia and the United Kingdom, where missile technology and unique weapon systems were tested. Over the years of the Cold War, experiments with ballistic missiles, rocket fighters, and even space vehicles were carried out here. The testing range was so extensive that it could accommodate entire desert corridors for trial flights at supersonic speeds. In its peak years, several thousand workers and experts lived in the adjoining settlement. Today, only a few hundred residents remain there. Woomera still functions as an important site for testing various types of modern weaponry, including the newest unmanned aerial vehicles and anti-missile defense systems. Access to certain sectors of the testing area is controlled nearly at a military level, and some zones are declared red or closed year-round. However, part of the territory has been turned into a sort of open-air museum where one can see remnants of the earliest missile projects. Amid the icy waters of the Arctic Ocean lies the sparsely populated island of Mayen, belonging to Norway. The region is dominated by harsh natural conditions. Beerenberg volcano, rightly considered one of the world's northernmost active volcanoes, rises above the endless snowy plain, and gales and storms make landing ashore extremely difficult. Scientists primarily use Mayen for research and meteorological purposes. Weather monitoring stations are installed on the island, since the local climate reflects many of the processes in the Arctic. Yet in addition to its research mission, the island also has strategic significance. It may host an early warning system for missile launches if the insiders are to be believed. Visiting Mayen requires special permits, which are very difficult to obtain. The official explanation is the need to protect the fragile ecosystem and preserve the unique natural environment. But rumors persist that radar installations with dual functions may also be present there. Severe storms and challenging navigation conditions only reinforce the sense of isolation surrounding this volcanic patch of land. On the quiet roads of the small town of Dulce, hidden in the northern part of New Mexico, you will rarely see tourists. But in the world of conspiracy theorists, this place has long since become legendary. There is a belief that here lies an underground laboratory extending multiple levels below the surface, with corridors possibly stretching beneath mountain ranges. The most fantastical accounts claim that the complex arose from some secret agreement with extraterrestrial civilizations, and that horrifying experiments in hybridizing life forms, carrying out genetic engineering, and testing alien technology are conducted there. Those who claim to have encountered such facts speak of strange signals intercepted on radio frequencies that seemingly could not belong to earthly equipment. Officials deny everything, calling it all a myth. At the same time, certain oddities do occur around Dulce. Sometimes at night, one can encounter militarized patrols that inexplicably block roads with unclear authority. Members of the local Apache tribe who own the land say these are merely rumors and speculation. Nevertheless, every year, new enthusiast researchers arrive, determined to unravel the Dulce mystery and see whether something supernatural really is hidden underground. Among the picturesque hills of England's North Yorkshire stands a large guarded site known as Menwith Hill Air Base. Essentially, it is one of the key nodes of the global electronic surveillance system jointly used by the authorities of the United Kingdom and the United States of America. Spread across a wide area, you will see dozens of white spherical domes concealing sensitive receiving and transmitting antennas. Their purpose is to intercept and analyze an immense flow of satellite signals, including telephone conversations, electronic mail, and other forms of electronic communication. Many refer to this base as a cornerstone of the worldwide surveillance network, operating under various national security structures. Such wide-ranging interception capabilities draw criticism from human rights organizations, which believe that this kind of global ear threatens the personal lives and freedoms of people everywhere. However, officials consistently underscore the importance of combating terrorism and international crime. The base's secrecy is so intense that details of its technical capacities almost never leak to open sources, and being near such a strategic site without a special pass is nearly impossible. So here is a release about secret territories and closed institutions about which we do not have the right to know too much. Some sites were created for defense or scientific breakthroughs, others for concentrating power and influence, and still others are shrouded in such legends that the truth can no longer be discerned. If you want to see many more such interesting releases, then leave comments, hit the like button, leave comments, subscribe to the TopFacts channel for the most incredible selections of facts and videos from all over the internet.